how much do you agree with the statement that belief without action can change external reality? Right. So a video comes out every week, and right now I'm posting stuff from May.
Oh, okay.
I think May or June. So I've got kind of a backlog. So it'll be a little bit. It won't be posted tomorrow.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, you as well. Take care. Yeah, go ahead and have a seat if you like.
Ready.
All right.
All right.
So what's your name?
I'm Kaden.
Kaden.
Kaden. What do you want to talk about?
Kaden.
En. Yes, sir.
Kaden, good to meet you, Kaden.
Good to meet you too.
I'm David.
Nice to meet you, man.
You too, man. Did I explain what I was doing okay?
Yeah. No, I think I got a good grasp on
Get a
it.
good grasp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
We can start by you giving me a summary of your understanding of what I'm doing.
okay.
Will that work?
Yeah, I can do that. So I think from what you told me, I'm thinking that you want me to either pick something out of here and have a conversation with you about it, or you want me to bring you my own belief that I stand on, and you want to ask questions not as in a debate way, but in like a way of like, hey, let me question this, let me challenge you on this, which is fair. I think with any belief, I think you should be able to question it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's your belief, you should be able to take criticism. So that being said, I think what I want to talk about is, actually, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I got a couple things that I want to talk about. I haven't decided on one yet.
Okay. We can also do where you write down what your belief is.
Yeah.
And you keep it hidden from me, and I ask the same types of questions. Like that. It's kind of helpful to do it that way if you don't really want people to know where you stand on something.
Okay.
Because you can still explore the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Without revealing what it is.
Okay.
So there's that option too. We could do can of words, and that might help generate. But it sounds like you have something in
Well, I
mind.
got a couple things in mind because I kind of want to go and I mean, epistemology in and of itself has something to do with religion, right? Like, in and of itself.
Epistemology is the study of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
how we know what we know.
Which a lot of times,
You're fine.
comes with religion, because that's how we know what we know is from whatever ex-religion God says this is why things are why, right?
Yeah. So, I guess an example is religion is what we think we know.
Yeah.
Epistemology is how we support it.
Okay.
And it could be any truth claim has its own epistemology.
Okay. Well, this is tough, man. Just deciding like where I want to go with this conversation is tough, because it could be so broad. But I want to I guess getting specific is better for any the content and all that. But I'm trying to think. Can we talk about just like organized religion in general?
We can.
how that. Because I think there's some flaws. I think there's flaws in organized religion.
Okay. Well, maybe we can start by exploring what your idea is about truth
About
itself.
truth itself.
Like, what makes something true?
Oof. Okay. Well, for me personally, what makes something true is if I believe it and I have reason to believe it. But I know that's not a definition of truth that everyone can get behind. I know there's scientific reason for some people, but to me, I think we've proven ourselves wrong in science so many times over the years that I think sometimes your gut is more accurate than what we think we know. I think trying to use science to disprove of God is really hard. I don't think that's going to happen. Actually, I think it's quite the opposite. I think if you really dive into science, a lot of it's going to start to prove that there was a creator.
Okay.
I'm going off on a tangent. Let me reel me back in.
Sure. Are you saying that your gut is more reliable than science?
No. let me pause that. I think in some cases, yes, but I do think, obviously, science is science. There's concrete evidence to some things. Like there is gravity. There's oxygen molecules. There is an atomic, there's a periodic table. There's stuff like that no one is going to disprove that. But there is things that are, outside of our, realm of knowledge that we have at this moment that I think science can't prove yet, but your gut might have a say of, we think this is right. We can't prove it, but I think this is right.
Okay. So, can you summarize your understanding of science?
My understanding of science? It's not the best. I don't consider myself a scientist by any means, but I think for it to be true science, you have to be using the scientific method, right? You need to have a hypothesis, and you need to have reason to support that hypothesis to make it a claim. And I mean, most of modern science is theories. You can't prove theories. They're theories for a reason. Now, that being said, a lot of these theories, that there isn't a better explanation than the theories we have in front of us, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those theories are right. I think it definitely is just this is what we got. This is our reasons to why we have what we have. That doesn't mean it's true all the time.
Okay. And so what's more reliable, gut or science?
I mean, in a broad sense, probably science, I would say. But I think in a personal sense, if you use science in your day-to-day life to make decisions, it's probably going to lead you in the wrong direction. I think if you're looking at things from an eagle-eye point of view, yeah, science and stuff like that is going to help you. But if you are yourself in your body like you are all the time, walking around, I think your gut is going to be your best friend.
Okay. So it sounds like you're saying some things...
Yeah, fine.
You're good. Some things, the gut is more reliable.
Yeah.
And other things, science is more reliable.
Absolutely.
Okay. How do you tell the difference?
I think it's a personal level. I think for me, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you the earth is flat, or I'm not going to sit here and try to say anything like that, because we have science that can prove the inaccuracies of that. But for something a little more nuanced, I don't know, is there a creator? Is there ghost? Is there demons? Something like that. I think that's where you rely on your gut, and you kind of work on experiences that you've been through in your life, and that's what helps you make that decision. Because I mean, everyone goes through things that's going to shape those little things differently, right? If you grew up in a household where you felt like you were abandoned by God and God wasn't there for you, you're not going to grow up and be like, well, God loves everybody, and God obviously loves everyone equally, when someone might have had their little brother taken away from them by cancer at a young age. People go through different things, which makes them shape their reality a lot differently. And that's where I think there's a gut feeling in there where it's that person's gut's going to tell them there is no God because of something that happened to them. Whereas,
Okay.
you know, another person's gut might say the opposite because they grew up in a loving household where everyone was like, you know, God loves you, and they believed it because they had that and they felt that.
Okay. So if gut can lead to both opposite conclusions, why is gut reliable?
Because I think it's you. Like, I think it's up to what you've been through. And I think a big part of that is you make your own reality. I truly, really believe that. I think you create your own reality.
You create your own reality. What do you mean by reality?
I think the reality that you live in is the one that you pick to live in. I think you can do anything you put your mind to, and I don't say that lightly. Like, I really believe your mind is the most powerful thing on this planet. And if you truly and really, really believe something, I think it's a true belief.
Can I test that real fast?
Go ahead. I'm ready.
Can you choose to do a backflip?
Can I choose to do a backflip? I mean, I could. I could choose to attempt. I'm not going to.
No, I wouldn't want you to.
That might end badly. But go on.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
So you create your own reality.
Yeah.
Can you create a reality in which you can do a backflip right now?
I think so. Yeah. I think if I... See, the thing is, that's where it comes into play, is like, I don't have the confidence to sit here and attempt that. But I think if I truly believe, like, if you said that and I was like, you know what, yeah, I can do a backflip. And I truly believed in my heart that I could do a backflip, whether I've done one in my life or not, I could stand up here and do a backflip. Now, I don't believe that, so I'm not going to try. So the fact, and that goes both ways. I don't believe that, so I know if I got up there and did a backflip, it wouldn't work. But if I really believe that I could do a backflip right now, never done one in my life, I promise you I could stand up there and do a backflip. Promise you. You could too.
How about a double backflip?
Well, then we're starting to break the laws of science there.
Can you create a reality that breaks the laws of science?
The concrete laws? I don't think so. I think that would start involving some metaphysics and some superhero stuff if we start, saying that. Like, I don't think... There's definitely a limit to that. I think that you can create your own reality in the bounds of physical possibility. You know what I mean?
There's a limit to creating your own reality.
I think it's confined in physical possibility. Like, no, I don't think if I sat here and really believed that I could fly, that I would, take off and fly. But I do believe if I sat here and told myself every day that I was going to be the most successful person out of my family, and really and truly believe that I will be the most successful person out of my family. In that sense is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So how can we decide what the limits of physical reality are?
It's where your imagination takes you, man. I think at a certain point, it's like there is probably some people that have some screws loose in their head that really and truly believe that they can do things that aren't possible. And in their head, they're doing these things. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, for instance, I have a great example. The other day, a homeless person came up to me and told me that they, could teleport.
Uh-huh.
Like, they just came... I don't think he was even talking to me. He was just yapping, I could teleport. But, to a certain extent, if he believes that, in his mind, he might be teleporting. He might be somewhere, and the next time he wakes up, he's somewhere else. And to him, he's teleporting. And you're not going to be able to tell him he's not.
Why not?
You wouldn't believe it. It's not his reality.
Okay.
His reality is the one that he teleports in.
Okay. So there are folks that believe that they can do something,
Yeah,
and they can't in our shared reality. Is that...
Yes. Yeah. I think. Well, when you start breaking the laws of physics, yes, that's when that comes into play. Now, if we're not talking about physics, if we're talking about the fact that, hey, I want to be the best, singer-songwriter this planet's ever seen, right? And I truly believe that, and I believe it's going to happen, and I work to achieve it. That will happen. I think manifestation and the power of your mind are real things.
Okay. So if you have... It sounds like what you're saying, you can correct me. If you have a positive attitude and you fully believe that you can do something within the laws of physics,
Yeah,
then you're able to.
I think so. And I mean, even if it's not a positive attitude, I mean, if you're angry about something and your only goal is getting like revenge, if you go at it in an angry way, even if you truly believe like, hey, next time I see like I'm going to see this person that did me wrong and I'm going to kill them, right? You believe that, I think it'll happen.
Okay. All right. And the only limits are physical limits?
I think so. I can't like in my opinion, I think the human brain is so extremely powerful to a point that like we don't even quite understand how powerful it really is yet. And I truly believe that like if you believe something and you take action towards doing that thing, you will achieve that. Whatever it may be. Now, that's why you got to be a little bit more specific when you say like when I bring in like the physics, because I mean you can believe all you want that you're gonna fly away in the next 30 seconds, but you're not, obviously, because that's not how things work. But
no matter how much you believe it.
No matter how much you believe it, no, you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna fly, but I do think that there's in the space of physical limitations. I think if you believe something truly, like you have to, and not only believe it, I think you have to be able to like envision it in your head, because if you can't see where you want to be, you won't be there.
Okay, let's say you believed that you were going to make $1 million next year, with all this confidence, and you didn't. What would that mean?
I don't think that would happen, but I'll play into that.
You wouldn't think, you don't think that you could make $1 million?
No, I don't think that. I think if you actually believe that, if you really truly believe you're going to make $1 million next year, and not only that, you've envisioned yourself and you worked for it, you would absolutely do it. That's what I think. And I think if that didn't happen, there's one of two things: either you didn't truly believe that in yourself, or you didn't see yourself doing it beforehand, or you didn't work hard enough for it.
What other explanations could there be?
I don't think there is one. I think if you actually put your mind to something and you really and truly believe it, and you work towards that one goal, you will achieve that goal 100 out of 100 times.
Okay. Can I throw out a hypothetical?
Please.
Let's say I believed with all that confidence that I could make $1 million next year, and the reason why I didn't is because I got hit by a bus.
Okay.
So would that be an explanation for it?
I guess, but let's take your hypothetical and go one more. You got hit by a bus. It was a city bus, and then you sued the city and made $1 million off getting hit by the bus. I'm just saying, we could do. There's different ways to go about that. I think that obviously people are in this hypothetical, I would not have made the $1 million. Okay.
And it's because I got hit by a bus. Say, because I was jaywalking, and it was my fault, so I couldn't sue the city.
Yeah.
And I did not make the $1 million. Would that be a sufficient reason or a sufficient explanation as to why I didn't?
I think so. I think that means, honestly, like to me, that's a work thing. Like you didn't work hard enough. You should have looked before you crossed the street. I think there is some.
So the explanation is I didn't work hard enough.
Still, I think so. I think because if you believed in something that much, I think, and that your goal was to make this $1 million. When you're crossing the street, you would have the awareness to look both ways before you crossed.
Okay.
I think there's getting hit by a bus is definitely a tough hypothetical. It's like like asteroid coming down and hitting me like I'm about to make my $1 million or something like that. Realistically, that's not going to happen. I think that
Not likely.
No, not likely. Yeah. But like I see what you're saying. I just don't think. I think if you're there, if you're at that brink, that's not going to happen because you're there. You're on these steps. You're doing the right thing. I just don't think that would happen.
Okay.
That's a tough one. My bad.
I think I understand what you're saying. I have just a quick question. I don't want to take up all your time.
No, dude, I'm good.
Tell me how much you agree with this statement.
Okay.
Like, you can say anything from strongly disagree all the way to strongly agree.
Okay.
Somewhere on that scale. How much do you agree with the statement that belief without action can change external reality?
I disagree. I disagree.
Okay.
I think you have to have action.
Okay.
I think believing in something is one thing. Believing in something and taking the steps to make that a reality is a completely different thing. We'll take the $1 million example again. If I sat here and just was like, I'm going to make $1 million
And you believe
tomorrow, and I really, really, truly believe it, but I don't do anything towards it, I mean, that's essentially praying to yourself. You know what I mean? That's doing nothing. But I think it's when you put action into it that it becomes real.
Okay. So it's the action that's required to change reality.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the action combined with maybe a dumb level of belief in yourself. I think that might be the word, like a dumb level of belief.
Okay. We can end it there.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say something to the camera real quick?
Absolutely, yeah.
Guys, take what I said, believe in yourself. You can do all things if you really just put your mind to it. I promise you. Maybe not fly. Maybe that's where we draw the line.
And if you act.
And if you act, you have to take action. You can't just believe these things. You have to believe that you can do it and take action to doing it.
Not to put words in your mouth, but to kind of reiterate what we were just saying. Like, because you're saying just believe in yourself, and it sounded like what you were saying earlier, and take appropriate action.
No, take action.
Yeah.
Take action. Believe in yourself and take the steps to get there. If you could see yourself there doing whatever you want to do, you can get there. I promise you. Anyone can. That's all I have to say.
Cool, Kaden. You have any questions for me?
Nah, man, that was sick. I actually really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Yeah,
That was
you're
cool.
welcome.
You ask good questions. You make me have to think a little bit.
Right on.
I like that.
That's the idea.
No, it's good.
I mean, you're at school.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, if I'm going to come up here and say something in front of camera, challenge me, bro.
Yeah.
It's really coming down. Do you have something in mind?
Cool. Yeah, we'll see you around.